Hey friends, before we get going with our Bible story today, I wanted to let you know that on February 7th, we are relaunching Sunday School. That means that you can come here to First Baptist Duncan at 9 a.m. on February 7th and join us for Sunday School. But for now, let's enjoy our Bible story.
Hey friends, I am so pumped you're joining us today. We have an important story about Jesus.
But before we get started, I have a job for you. I need you to imagine you are going on a big trip. Think about being gone for a long time. But you can only take 4 of your favorite things. What would you take? Think really hard.
This is difficult. Would I take my phone so I could take pictures of my trip and talk to my friends? Should I pack food for the trip? What about clean clothes or a blanket in case it's cold? It's hard to think of leaving so many things behind. What if I needed something that I left?
Thankfully, we don't have to make those choices right now. But in today's Bible story, there's some people who left everything behind to follow Jesus. And I mean everything. And speaking of everything, every time you hear that word, I need you to make a surprise or shock face. Let's practice. Show me your surprise face. Awesome. Let's see if you can listen well enough to catch them all. Ready? Right after Jesus was baptized, he began his ministry. He chose some men to come with him, and as he traveled and preached, there were 12 of them. And we know these men as the 12 disciples, or 12 apostles.
You might think these guys were special somehow. Like maybe they had everything in the Bible memorized. Or they spent more time praying than sleeping. But the truth is, they were regular people just like us. They sinned just like we do. They weren't perfect, and they didn't do anything to deserve traveling with Jesus and becoming one of his disciples. But they did do one thing that made them kind of special. They dropped everything.
The first 2 men Jesus called were actually brothers, Simon and Andrew. Simon and Andrew were fishermen, so they spent their days out on the Sea of Galilee together, casting nets and catching fish. Fishing was very important in 2 ways. One, it provided them with food to eat. I'm sure sometimes they wish they had something else to eat for dinner, but at least they wouldn't starve. And 2, it provided them with money. Any fish they didn't eat, they could sell at the market. Then they would have money to buy food, clothes, fishing supplies, and everything else that might pop up.
So, for Simon and Andrew, fishing was everything. It took up all their time and provided them with everything they needed to survive. But remember what I said? They dropped everything. Jesus saw them casting their nets and called out to them, "Come, follow me, and I will send you out to fish for people."
And they did. They left their nets, their fish, their home, their friends, their money. Simon and Andrew dropped everything to follow Jesus. But that's not all. Just a little while later, Jesus saw another group of fishermen out in a boat. These were brothers named James and John, fishing with their father. Jesus called out to the brothers, and immediately they left, leaving everything behind, including their father.
James and John dropped everything to follow after Jesus. I can't imagine what it must have felt like for them, leaving everything and everyone they ever knew, including their dad, to follow a stranger. We are blessed that we don't have to drop everything in order to follow Jesus. We still have homes, toys, money, and refrigerators filled with food.
Instead of dropping everything, God asks us to drop some things. Can you think of anything God might want us to get rid of? Maybe disobeying your parents or saying ugly things about someone. And if you are super busy, God might want you to drop something so you can spend more time reading your Bible or praying or going to church. This week, I want you to try doing one special thing for God. Maybe you could learn a Bible verse instead of watching TV. Or maybe pleasing God by being a helper to your parents or teacher. It might not seem like it's big or important, but to God, it's everything.
But before we go, I have a fun activity for you to do at home. I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Trace the shape of your foot. Once you are finished, you can cut it out. But make sure you have your parents' permission to use the scissors. After you cut it out, write on your paper foot the words, "Follow Jesus." Hang onto your paper foot so that you always remember to follow Jesus.
We hope you have fun with this activity, and we would love to see your craft whenever you finish. So, ask Mom, Dad, Grandma, or Grandpa to take a picture of your project and send it to me and Miss Jana. Thanks for joining us, friends, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. One time. Look at that. Boom. Hold on.
Take that, Katie.
Should I pack for food for the trip? What about clean clothes or blank?
It's too fast.